The following broadcast is brought to you by kmtv Kamozi and L4C Multimedia, USA.
Welcome, viewers. Again, this is your host, Ellis Winston Boy and Pastor Nickson. Thank you for staying with us, and we are going to pick up exactly from where we left off. Pastor Nickson, I've heard the saying that what doesn't kill you make you stronger. And in this life, whether I like it or not, regardless of who you are, who birthed you out, the privileges you are, you still go through things. And it would be a disservice to me and the viewers if I don't ask you that what are some of the challenges that you have been through and how were you able to handle them? Because for all you know, someone might go through, maybe not the same, but a similar challenge. And out of what you would say, they would draw some kind of strength, motivation, and encouragement from it.
Well, if we want to count the many things that we've been through, it's a lot. I just want to simplify it to, some of the few challenges that I have been through since I came into this country.
Okay.
Yeah, so my parents brought me, and, coming from where we come from, especially when you're a little older, you have this vision. And when I get here, things are going to be roses. Everything's just going to be awesome,
Yes.
And then you get here and realize that this is a reality.
That's right.
It's not what has been advertised on TV.
At all. It's just like marriage. You see the magazines and you watch the movies and you see them saying, honey, sweetheart, and then kissing each other to go to work and come back home.
Just
so that's what you want. You think that's what it is. After you've entered inside and realized that's not exactly what they told me it's supposed to be.
That's how life is. There used to be a song, this song called Obra. When the songwriter says that when he was a child, he was in a rush to become older because thinking that when you're older, you have everything at your disposal.
That's right.
But when he got older, he realized that, man, I want to be a child again, So reality sets in. Of course, I faced some challenges back home. I was a teacher. My parents in abroad. I used to live with my aunt, so it wasn't that tough as compared to when now I was asked to live alone. This is the first time.
That's right.
And I was also a leader of a group, and some of them were going through challenges. There's this particular young guy that I had to take care of because the mom actually came to me. Things were tough. Me too. Look at that, So it wasn't easy, but I am blessed with a good heart. Whatever little I have, I share with friends.
Wow.
I have a friend right now that lives in my parents' home back in Ghana right now. He's more like a family member. I know my parents even talk to him more than they talk to me.
Wow.
But he was a friend. He used to live next door, became friends, and now he's a family member. So that is who I am. And this young guy, now I know he's doing well. But when he was younger, of course, we were all young, but everything that I had, I shared. Lived with me, helped him through school, all that. All this I'm saying, it wasn't because things were easy.
Right.
I taught a bit and I left the school, teaching, and now I was doing instruments and teaching churches. So every Saturday I'll go to 3 different churches and I'll train, their choirs to prepare them for Sunday. Guess what? That was what I was living on.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not like it was good money.
And that was in Ghana or
that was
here?
in Ghana.
Okay.
So fast forward, so I came here, and after 6 months, my parents said, "Hey, you're a man now. You got to move."
Wow.
Yeah. So I said, "Man, it's not going to be easy. So just give me 6 more months."
And at what age did they say that to you?
Okay. I was 29.
Okay.
But you see, that is insignificant.
Okay.
Because you just landed here. You don't know your left and right. Don't know your bearings, and you see that there is an opportunity for you to live here and then probably make things happen, make life for yourself.
Right.
And then when things are, that mindset.
Right.
Okay. They said, hey, you are old enough. Of course, they've been here, so they have that mindset. You're old enough. You've been here 6 months. But when I got here, it took 3 months for me to get a job. So you're old enough, move and all that. But then I had car notes and, now I'm going to add rent.
Right.
Man, crazy. So, well, I moved. And, man, it was tough. So, even the car that I had, it was so hard that I couldn't pay the car. I had to return the car.
You mean repo, as they
Not
say?
repo. I returned the car.
Okay.
And of course, when you return, all these things I didn't know. So let's say you buy the car for 20,000. You know that whenever you move a car from dealership,
It
that very
depreciates.
moment.
Yes, the price depreciates.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's say I've driven the car for about 3 months. Man, now life is hard.
Right.
I decided to return the car. So I was driving Toyota Highlander with the intention that I'm going to live here for a bit.
Right.
I was also going to go to school, continue my education. So now that it's not that easy, I want to return this Toyota Highlander, get a smaller car, with the intention that everything is going to be lower. That's when the bill started increasing. Ignorance.
Right.
So I returned the car, and then whatever amount that was left, so they value the car.
Right.
So let's say now, if you return the car, since you have used it, the car is no longer 20,000, it's 5,000.
Right.
The 15,000.
The negative equity.
So that negative equity was added to the new car.
Wow.
So now I am paying that, and all these things were not explained to me well. It's like the guys knew that this guy is ignorant. So let me take advantage of his ignorance, And my sister co-signed for me.
Wow.
So now it's going to be tough.
Oh, family drama's going to burst out here now.
So, well, even that, I still couldn't pay because job issues, it was tough. I decided to return it. Well, my sister and husband decided to take the car. Decided, okay, since it will mess up their credit. So it brought some kind of
Tension.
between us a bit. By God's grace, we are good now.
Okay.
But that was there. And it's like everything was not great. Everything was gone haywire. I've had at least 3 accidents.
Wow.
And in each of the accidents, my car was totaled. My car was totaled. I've had my car repossessed before. That was initial stage when I had 2 cars, Saturn and then this Kia. And the Saturn, I bought it, but the Kia, I had not. Of course, when I bought it from the dealership, it was one of these roadside dealerships. It's like that same day, the lights went off.
Wow.
It's like, man, it was crazy. So I got mad. I said, man, I'm not paying for this. So it was there. They repossessed it. They took the car away and all that. So, the Saturn was giving me problems. So I bought another car. Accident, total.
Wow.
I bought another one. Accident. And usually, when you buy a used car, you get an accident, the insurance company is going to evaluate how much it costs. And usually it's lower than what you can use to buy another car.
That's right.
So each time I'm involved in something,
It brings more debt.
man. So, man, life was hard. And then we got married, I mean, everything was done by faith because I can tell you, I didn't have all that it takes to do all that.
It was a lavish wedding now. I remember the train. I think 5 or 7, bridesmaids.
Well, guess
and
what?
groomsmen.
Everybody rented their own seat.
Wow.
It wasn't our cost. So, they said that when you have good friends, you are rich.
Absolutely.
So all my friends, every one of them rented their own seats. The ladies, every one of them bought their own stuff. So whatever we were wearing is what we, incurred the cost for.
Right.
So that was it. And then my parents know people, my wife's parents know people. By God's grace, we had help. The cake was done for us for free. The place we did our reception was the lowest cost you can ever find,
Right.
So we had friends, by God's grace, who chipped in to help us. And guess what? The day, a night before our wedding, I was moving. I used to live in Maryland. So I was moving from my apartment because my apartment has flooded.
Okay.
So a night before our wedding, when we were supposed to have the rehearsal, I had friends helping me move.
Wow.
I had to get a storage that same night. So when we were going to get married, we didn't know where we were going to live.
Let me sit well.
We were getting married tomorrow. So today is Saturday, Friday, we're getting married on Sunday. My apartment had flooded. I have spoken to the apartment, nothing was done. So I had to move out that night.
Wow.
And I wasn't going to get any penalty because I couldn't live there.
Right.
And when I get married, where are we going? We're going to live in a flooded apartment.
Flooded house. Ooh.
No. So I had to move my stuff. That I had to call a storage place, find a place, and move my stuff. And my friends, those that were my best man and
Yes.
all those guys, all of them were there helping me move.
Wow.
Yeah. So one person came, helped me move everything into the truck. And then when I got to the storage, all these guys, they left the rehearsal, came there, helped me pack all my stuff. Did we even do rehearsal? I don't even remember. You know, I think we came there, worked a little bit, but all the time we were in that place. So we had to move into my in-laws.
Wow.
So my wife's room where she was when she was with them, you know, get up, go to work, up and down. But then we were still looking for a place. So we found a place and then it wasn't ready. So we had to be there for a bit. So we went to our honeymoon, we came back, and then, you know, when the place was ready, we moved out. And it was not easy. It was not easy. Life was hard. Of course, we just gotten married, and we had 2 bedrooms. And then in the kitchen, I set up my studio where the dining table was supposed to be. My wife was mad. Said, we just got married. I want to organize my home.
Decorate my home.
You're using it for a studio.
That's right.
I said, woman, you married an engineer. This thing, you're going to live with you forever. You know? So she's also been through it, you know, because the music followed me everywhere, you know. So it was tough. All these times, man, we didn't have enough money. And then from Summerland, we were there for a couple of years, I think. Then we moved to Ripon, around Ripon London area, Powers Creek area. We were there for about 5 years. Look, we used to go and pick, you know, late at night, a friend of mine and I would look around and see somebody has dropped their couch next to the trash.
Right.
And we pick it up. You know, one man's meat is another man's poison.
That's right.
We go and decorate our home. You come, you sit and we enjoy,
right.
You know. You wouldn't know. Life was a challenge. Yet, whatever food we have, we share it with everyone that comes to the house. You know, we know people that can bear witness to this. Sometimes it was our last food for the weekend. The guys that are coming to the house, they don't know that.
They don't know that.
But they just come and enjoy it. You know? So, man, life was tough over there until 2016. Around April, not 2016. So around 2016, 17. The apartment that we were at, they asked us to move. There were some discrepancies that I don't want to go into right now because, you know, we are on screen, but they asked us to move. I mean, I had my studio there. In fact, that is where Einstein did his first album.
Wow.
Yeah. So they asked us to move. Man. Even money to get U-Haul to move our stuff we didn't have. But by God's grace, I know how to calm myself down. You look at me, you think I don't care. But I understand the stuff that I've been through in life. You know, jumping around and crying about stuff and thinking that, oh, what are we going to do? It's not going to solve it. So I can still have fun in the storm. I know how to do that. There is a storm blowing, but you see me on the park playing tennis or soccer or something. You know, my wife didn't understand that, you know, and she thinks, man, we got to do this, we got to do that, get out there and all that. There is time for that. But there are times that there is nothing you can do
about it.
All you have to do is just depend on God. So that has been me. Of course, initially it was tough because my wife wasn't in that place, so it wasn't easy, you know, different levels of understanding. So they kicked us out. And then we had friends come in, oh, get this, get that. Then we got money. We were able to get a new apartment in Stafford. That was in 2017. So we were in Pennsylvania for 4 years, 17, 18, 19, 20. And we moved April. So we were there for 4 years. So this was 2017. We were in Stafford for 1 year.
Okay.
So they kicked us out, and then we got a place in Stafford. All this while, my wife was working for 2 days. And at that time, I wasn't working at all.
Wow.
But some way, somehow, I'll get this gig here, this contract there, and some money will come in. But it wasn't a consistent income.
Money.
So it was tough. People have come to our house and look at our living room and said words. It was tough. I have friends they will just look at you, they won't mind you. It's all good. So we were in Stafford for a year. So whilst we were there, I think we were there for 10 months. We'll drive around and then we'll be praying, God, bless us with a home. Bless us with a home. And then a friend of ours, God brought him, told us about, hey, you guys can get a home. So we came for the realtor, went around, looked for a home. Then we found a loan officer. So he talked to us about the down payment, closing cost. So he asked, how much do you have? He said, 0.
Are you kidding me? 0?
0. We hadn't purchased a house before. We were not advised that you need a down payment.
Right.
All that, we didn't know. How much do you have? 0. And we were looking for some nice house
Of
too.
course.
So closing cost too, 0. No down payment. So we found a way and then used one of our vehicles as collateral. And then we secured the down payment. There were credit card bills here and there. Some way, somehow, God used this loan officer to pay off all our credit card bills.
Wow.
All of them. Not a single one of them was left. All of them. As if God was behind us being kicked out from that place. And a similar story, how we were kicked out from that place, was about to happen. So we started praying. We'd drive in the neighborhood, we'd look at nice houses, and we'd be praying, God, bless us with a home, bless us. So this happened, and finally the loan officer said, okay, let me see the house. He put the address, and he said, it's a single family home. I told you guys we were going for a town home. He started laughing. You guys don't have a dime, and you're going for a single family home.
So is it this house, or that was the house before this one?
The house before this one.
Okay.
So it did happen that finally he got us a loan, and then actually we were looking for a nice house but this particular house that we went in, I think we looked at it one time and we went away.
Okay.
But for some reason, the realtor came back and said, we should come and take a look. So we went back, we looked into the house. We went into the house, we saw that everywhere in the house they had scriptures.
Wow.
So it was as if God had left that house for us.
For you guys.
The owner reduced the house completely, decided also to pay about 90% of the closing cost.
Wow.
Yes. And even the rest we still didn't pay.
Wow.
So the loan officer had a way, he took care of it. After that, he also gave us $3,000 in addition.
Wow.
Yes, towards our down payment.
And I would like to meet him.
He has met a lot of people. Even the person that took us there didn't get that privilege.
Grace.
It wasn't like even after that we were going to have this relationship with him. You call, he didn't even pick up.
Wow.
It was the angel of the Lord behind all these things. It was just happening for us. It was God. And that apartment, all that while we were doing Facebook video, we were preaching the gospel. We were zealous for God, even though sometimes, man, And I think that maybe at the time God thought that let me reward these people, And then God blessed us with that home. And that home is beautiful.
Wow.
Look, it's a beautiful home. After now, my wife will tell you when we're moving, I still feel it's like I'm connected to that home. There was a room in the basement. I built my studio and everything. I love the house. Oh man. Well, my wife said we should get more bedrooms. It's a 4-bedroom house.
Okay.
And I also built that room. So if you're really counting,
it should be 5.
5. But when it doesn't have a window, they don't count it as 5 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So, but there was, if you look at it in the physical, there will not be any reason for us to move. It's excellent house. The living room big. We have big basement. Big master bedroom. The kids room humongous. But God was preparing us for this place. Amazingly, when we moved here, then we were driving around and we saw a home that we had looked first when we moved in the area, when we were trying to buy a house. That was the house we saw that we loved. And for some reason, the realtor said he saw some discrepancy, so we didn't come. So then we recognized that this was the area God was bringing us, but he took us there to go and start.
To go and start. Wow.
And then finally we came here, and this is a bigger house.
It is.
5 bedrooms. I mean, you know, so it's been God. So talking about struggles and how far God has blessed us, when someone look at your end today,
That's right.
you think that you don't have any issue. And even up till now, people look at us and say, how do you guys do it?
I mean, that is true, because I've never personally been to any of your abodes or residences before, but when the opportunity came to have a sit down with you, and I got the address, and then I got to the place, I look at the neighborhood a little bit. I said, okay, oh, it's nice, you know. But then that's why they say you can't judge a book by by the covering.
That's
so
right.
until I stepped in, I was like, okay, wow, all right, and I saw all of that. That's amazing. So what you're saying is that life hasn't been rosy. In as much as you put on a suit, you put on a tie, you go to functions or events or churches and still hold a mic and sing songs like, God, you are faithful. God, I lift my hands and give you praise. But when that is done and you are on your way home, then reality sets in. And I can personally relate when it comes to, you know, issues of payments and financial difficulties, you know, and it reminds me of the scripture that says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them from it all.
Yeah.
Wow. That's quite a journey. You know, because to live in one house, get settled down, and then after some few years or so, you have to move to another neighborhood, which comes with cost and all that. It really must be God.
Yeah, it
You
is
know,
God.
and this is really an encouraging story. And let me tell you, the viewers, that life is such that you have to go through your storm in order for you to get to the other side where there is peace. And when you see someone who you think the person is blessed, don't envy them. Get closer to them and ask them their story and how they were able to overcome or ride the storm to get to where they are. And by so doing, they will show you some nuggets that help them, and hopefully it will help you. Because what someone has been through is a reason for them to have what they have. So don't just envy. Let me come back to you, Pastor Nickson. You did say you know how to have fun in the storm. So then what are your stressing mechanisms? You know, because you painted a picture that, you know, of course, I'm married to a woman. You know, when things are not going the way, they expect you to go this way and all of that. Oh, you're supposed to do this and do that and write things and all of that. And when your wife is educated or even more educated than you are, you can tell everything is by the book. You know, so what are the anchors that help you when you are going through stressful moments that I want you to share with us, the viewers, you know, and me, so that we'll be able to apply some of them in any situations that we are able to find ourselves?
You know, Bible says that we should dwell with our wives with understanding, according to knowledge. And most of the time, the reason there are problems in the home is ego. We don't know how to put our egos on the side as men, including myself, especially where we come from.
Right.
The picture we have seen is that I am the man.
That's
when I
right.
say, you don't say. You know, that is the picture. When that picture is not there, it's absent in the relationship, you think something is wrong. You know, the Bible says that you and your wife, you are together as heirs of grace. Okay, you are together as heirs of grace. So when you understand that, then you realize that even though she might not be here, you ought to be patient with her. And love is what?
Patient.
Yeah. So we claim that we love, but we are impatient, which means we don't love.
Right.
So it will not be easy, but you have to learn to be patient. Even when you feel impatient, you have to learn I said learn. So it's a process.
It's a process.
So today you might be impatient with her. Tomorrow you deal with your impatience. And majority of the time, if you look at all these things well, you realize that it is not her, it's mostly you.
You.
Because irrespective of it, if you still learn to love, if you still learn kindness, if you still learn joy, because these are all what love is.
That's right.
And then gradually you will come to that place. However, in all these things, they might not still understand. They want, prayer is involved.
Okay.
See, when God, even when all these things are not working, you are doing everything you can. You wish that they can read your mind. They can think what you are thinking, and it's not happening. The common ground is God.
It's God.
When all these things that we are both trying to do to bring understanding is failing, when you make God the common ground, let us all meet where God is.
Where God is.
It calms every storm. So for me, I have looked onto God in the storm quicker than the problems.
Wow.
It wasn't the same with my wife. She used to focus on the problem more than God. Not that she didn't trust in God, but the learning, the process of overlooking the problems to look at God was not there. Not that I don't see the problem, but I see God bigger than the problem. So that is where you think that the guy doesn't care. No, because you are looking at it from the sense realm. I'm looking at it from the spiritual realm. God is bigger. So I was always looking at God in the problem. So, well, I can have fun.
Right.
So you looking on the side thinking that the guy doesn't care. He's chilling when this problem is going on.
That's right.
Because you are looking at it from the flesh. I am looking at it because of what I've seen. I know that today, my life is not... I always say that even if I become homeless, what God has said about me will come to pass.
Absolutely.
So you can look at me however you want.
Right.
You can judge me today, but tomorrow when you see me,
right.
you'll be arguing. It's him, it's not him.
That's
It's
right.
me.
Is that him?
So you see, I've learned to do that. And now, my wife is there. Because time has come. We've been together. She has seen the things we've gone through, how I have behaved. The other day she said, as for you, you do well. You are good. We don't let things bother you. I said, I'm not good. God is good.
Right.
But I have learned that if it bothers me today, what am I going to gain?
That's right.
Let me leave it on to God. So all of us have problems. But for me, I'm still, like I said, I'm a guy who is trying to know God, to know him and to be known of him. I'm still pressing my way through, but I am still at a place. Last Sunday I was preaching, I said, look, if I get a good job offer, it's going to pay me $300,000 a year, and it does not align with my destiny, God, tell them to say no to me.
Wow.
And I mean it. As we are speaking, I went for an interview for a managerial position. Okay, the news I heard, it's like all the panels on the interview, it's like, man, what a guy. I blew their mind by God's grace. That's the news I'm hearing. Yet, I got a call saying that we are sorry, we enjoyed the interview, we are giving it to somebody else.
Wow.
What do you want me to do, cry? My wife is encouraging me. But I assured her, honey, I'm not moved because I know the prayer I've prayed. My life is in the hands of God.
That's
So
right.
if they said no, it does not align to my destiny. If I get it, it will deviate me from where I'm going.
Your assignment.
So this is me. I'm talking about real me. It's all because of grace. God is the center of it all. That's why I said I can have fun in the storm. Wow. This is my reason.
Wow. So then, in a nutshell, what you are saying is, what keeps you going, or what the anchors you use in the midst of storm, is the God factor.
It's the God factor. Looking unto Jesus, the beginning and the finisher. Sometimes we look in between.
That's
you
right.
look in between, it's like, you look the one that began.
You know there's God.
And he said, he who has begun a new thing, he will bring it to a successful completion.
Wow.
So whatever is happening in between, when Jesus told them, let us go to the other side, irrespective of what's happening, it's not a point.
That's right.
Okay? The word said, we are going to the other side.
That's right. That was a focus.
He went to sleep.
That's right.
I'm learning from the master.
Wow.
When Jesus spoke the word, he went to sleep. You think that it wasn't a ship like we look at a ship on TV, like big ship like that. So he knew that the storm, but he trusted on the word. So he went to sleep. Can we sleep in the storm? We can. Wow. We just choose not to because we lack faith. When he got up, he said, how long shall I be with you?
That's right.
You faithless generation.
Wow.
Yeah, we are in a generation where people are faithless. So, I'm not that we are sufficient of ourselves. Our sufficiency is of God. So I say this to say that it's not me. The life that I now live is no longer I, but Christ that lived in me. So it's not me. It's not because, oh, the guy, man, wow, the guy. That's how sometimes I think my wife look at me and say, man, as for you, you don't let this. It's not me. It's the fact that I must decrease. The more I decrease, the more he increases in me. So that he is more elevated even in my storm. In my weaknesses, his strength is perfected.
Wow.
So I don't boast in my strength. I love that I am weak so that his strength will be perfected.
Wow.
But when I'm strong, then I can see his strength.
That's right.
When I'm weak, then his strength is perfected.
Wow. Wow, that's powerful. You know, I'm getting some revelations there.
Amen.
I don't want us to go into preaching mode, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it, which means that in a nutshell, what you are saying is that we should change our perception about problems, because problems will come. You know, there's a saying that you can't stop a bird from landing on your head, but you can stop a bird from making a nest on your head. So the problems will come, definitely.
Yeah.
But then how you handle the problem, how you deal with it, that is our responsibility.
Yes.
And the main reason or the main way, some of the main ways by which we can handle the problem is to recognize God first before any other thing.
Yes.
Because if we can do something about it, then we'd have already done it. So if you can't do anything about it on your own, or you have tried and it's not working, then take your hands off the wheel and let the one who will be able to handle it. And then when he's finished, you can say, thank you, God.
Yes.
Wow, that's powerful. So having known your story, what is your song? Because there's a famous Methodist song that said, this is my story and this is my song. You can't have a story without a song. And the song is birthed out of your story. Because Hannah never had a song until she had a story. And now once she got there, then she got a song. So, and we know you are a singer, you are a worshiper, you are a musician. What is your song? And if you can, without no instrument, sing it briefly to us.
Oh, I should sing the song.
Yes.
Well, it's not every song that is sung. You understand what I'm saying? Not all songs are sung.
Okay.
There are silent songs. Yeah. This just came to me.
Okay.
It's not something I've even said before or thought about. I believe there are silent songs. You know, everybody's life story is a song, but it's a silent one. There are people that have stories that are not shared. So there are songs, but they are silent because no one has heard the song, but the song is there.
Right.
You know, if I want to relate to heaven, all the songs we hear, there are songs, bunch of songs in heaven. But because we are not tuned to heaven, we haven't heard it.
We haven't heard it.
Okay. But now this is related to me. If my song is different from who I am, then I have a dual nature. Okay? He said my story and my song. It's supposed to be the same. Really.
Okay.
Because your story, the song comes out of the story. So the song is a description, an expression of your story. So if my song is different from my story or who I am, because my story is who I am, it's a description of who I am, then I have a dual nature. So this is my song. This guy who is chasing after God, who wants to know God. And I'm saying this because I mean it. The way I long for God, you have no idea. I don't know how to express it for you to understand. But God knows my heart, and I'm not deceiving myself. Because if I stand here and say anything else, I'm just deceiving myself, not those that are listening. So this guy here, the way, you have no idea how I want to chase after God, how I want to be sold out unto God, how I want to amount to nothing but only God being seen. You have no idea. This is me. If I can write a song about this, then I will. But one of my songs that I wrote many years ago was Amazing Grace. Same Amazing Grace, but, you know, it's on my album. So if you want to hear, I don't know if you heard it before.
I haven't heard it before.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost. So the same Amazing Grace by another rendition.
different rendition.
But there are verses to it,
Okay.
which is different from the Amazing Grace. So maybe when you go to Reverb Nation, type Emmanuel Nickson, you find all my songs there. You know, yeah. But the silent song that nobody sees is this guy, who again, I love God so much, and I know I can love him more than I love him now. That is why I'm still chasing. I just want to be sold out. I want to be buried in prayer. I want to be buried in the word. I just want to be buried in him.
Wow.
Yeah. David said, where can I hide from your presence? Yeah. There is nowhere. But a lot of us, we are hiding from God's presence. Like Adam. I heard your voice and I was afraid and I hid. But if you can ask that question, where can I hide from your presence? It's like you are actually chasing, you want to be where his presence will be. You know, in his dwelling place. I was glad when they said unto me, you are finding you any means necessary. Wherever the presence of God is cooked, you are there enjoying it. You are eating on that dining table. That's me. So that's my, really. If I want to, when I'm not here anymore, my story should be the guy who chased after God.
So then, in your answer, you have given me a combination of about 5 different songs. You've given me a song of, I want more of you.
Oh, I see.
In your answer, you have given me, I just want to be where you are, dwelling in your presence.
Oh, yes.
You know, and in your answer again, you have given me, fill me up till I overflow. I want to run over.
Well, so if you put all the songs in the world, it cannot really touch the desire in my heart. I don't know, maybe there might be a song out there. But that song, whoever sang whatever that song is their own experience.
That's right.
And no one can describe the experience I want to get in their song, except in my own song.
Except in your silent song.
In my silent song.
Lord, this is my desire.
Yes,
Okay.
in my silent song. And that is a reality.
Silent song. I'm working out of here with this new revelation that I have caught on to, the silent song. Wow. So, Pastor Nickson, so it looks like if I were to choose any vegetable to describe you, I think I would choose an onion. Because, I mean, I knew you, but then it looks like there are many layers to you that I have to keep on peeling and peeling and peeling. So, having known your background, having known what you've been through, having known about your silent songs, what are your achievements? You know, of course, in marriage, in ministry, in your sound engineering business, you know, what are your achievements?
I'm bringing that question again.
Yes, I said that not necessarily, you know, for you to tell me you don't want to boast, but in as much as that we all know that the premise is not for you to come out and boast, we just want to give us a preview of what you have achieved so far, and not by your own strength. Because, you know, I asked that because even scriptures, Apostle Paul said that the grace that was upon me was not in vain, which means when you have grace and you have the anointing, you know, you should be able to produce something out of it. Because what you produce shows what you have done with it. You know, so that's the reason why I asked that, you know.
Okay, well, that word, for me to describe it, will mean that I have done something that I am pleased with.
Okay.
Okay, if you say I have achieved,
Okay.
it means that I am pleased with it.
Okay.
This is what I wanted to get, and I got it.
Okay.
If you ask me, maybe it's that I didn't pursue much. You know, of course, I did my first album.
Okay.
It was a success.
Okay.
I mean,
which was?
That was in 2007. We launched it in Apostolic.
Okay.
Where Pastor Corte was then the pastor over there when they were on Route 1.
Okay.
Many years ago, of course, 2007. And we spent a lot of money on that album.
Okay.
And around that time, we spent about almost $5,000 on that album. Okay. When we finished the launching, of course, we did 1,000 copies for the CD. at least I could say that we raised about $10,000.
Back then.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, I have not bothered to, it's not even on iTunes and all that. I didn't push it to sell and all that. Of course, I was singing. I loved performing, being a blessing to people. I didn't really care so much about putting, of course, I want to write the songs. I want to put it out there. Will I be happy if it's a hit and everybody's enjoying it? Yes.
Yes.
But the focus is not how much money I'm going to get out of it. How many people are going to say, oh, hail, Pastor Nick. Not all that,
All right.
So you might not like the answer, but my greatest achievement is Christ.
Okay.
See, I've done all these things. I've had groups all the way from back home. Those who know me, Oaks of Righteousness, I started this group many years ago. The last conference I think we did was in 2003, I believe. I came here 2005. The group was still there. I have a lot of pictures. If, time permits, maybe we can add some pictures about some, of the old things that we did back then. But all these things, I don't know, but it doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
Really, it's where I am right now, not where I have been. It's good. Your history tells a lot.
That's right.
But the end of a thing is better than its beginning. Some people start great, they end bad. My greater years have not started.
That's right. Okay. So then let me say this. Would you, if you wouldn't mind, tell us some of the activities that you've been involved in the communities? Because you mentioned some of them. You said what, Grace of Hope? Is that what it is?
Oaks of Righteousness?
Yes, Oaks of Righteousness. We just want to know, apart from your music career, apart from your studio, and then you running a church, other involvements that you are in the community. We just want to know those things that you are part of. So then anyone may be interested, any of our viewers will be interested, they can join, or see how best they can, be beneficiary of that.
Okay, well, we used to have this program. I think we did it twice.
Okay.
3 Ps we call it, Park, Praise, and Picnic.
Okay.
It's an outdoor, worship event where we have food, games, and all that. People come. Of course, my church, Kingdom Liberty, but we have a separate entity, Livingstone Foundation.
Okay.
So I'm a president of a foundation. It's called Livingstone Foundation. To get help to really build it the way we expected has not been easy, and the COVID came in and all that. But the intentions of Livingstone Foundation is to bring the gospel to the community, not just by the scriptures, but by what is in the scriptures. So Jesus fed the poor. Sometimes you don't need to preach. You just need to feed. Okay. Just like James said, when your brother is hungry, don't just pray and say, be filled.
That's right.
You have to give them
You have to give them something. Absolutely.
So that was the intention. So we wanted to help people. And then the less privileged. I always wonder that some of the parents that were not educated, how do they help their kids do homework? When my kids started going to school, I realized I thought of all these things.
Right.
How are they, helping their kids do homework and all that? I remember I heard a story about Ben Carson, the great doctor.
Right. Yeah, that's the surgeon.
Yes. And their mother was not educated.
Wow.
Yes, and a single mother too. But whenever they bring their books and they do their homework, the mother looked at it and said, it's wrong. Go and do it again. They grew up and they realized that the mother had no clue. But she saw something. Her persistency helped them. So I always thought about these things too, that not every parent is like Ben Carson's mother.
Right.
Some of them, they can't help it. How are we going to help the community? So we're going to set up a center where we're going to educate these, the community can bring their kids for a couple of hours, help them with homework. Wow. And then those who also dropped out of high school, because I have this experience in IT, I have other friends who were willing to volunteer. There are short courses in IT that can land you a job, help desk and all that. By God's grace, I have friends like that. I have some in my church. So we're going to set up these so people can volunteer every Saturday and then help the less privileged. And then we're also going to give incentives for, let's say, those who are doing well. We'll give an incentive. Say, if you show up and you're doing well, we'll give you a laptop or this and that. And it's a lot. Another thing we're going to do is to liaise with prison chaplains to not just preach in the prisons, but also those who are incarcerated. There comes out and it's the stigma. They can't get a job.
That's right.
So we're going to link up with non-profits like Salvation Army, Goodwill. They have training programs. So places that we fall short, that we can't do, the foundation will help link with these people. They will train them. Then we just go there, see how they are doing, and then also counseling, teaching them the word of God, giving them life skills, and then let me just add this as a last one, group homes. Wanted to do that. And all these things are non-profit, to help people just to grow. And after that, when we are successful, we will extend from United States to Africa.
Wow.
So recently, actually I was praying about it. It's not a dead vision. Things are different now, but it's something that, so if people out there, they have experience, they have done this before, or they have passion to serve people, we need volunteers to do this.
Wow.
It's not about a church. It's just non-profit to help people. It's a 501c, it's registered, everything is legit. Those who give to support this, they will get a tax deductible, certificate, so they can use it to file and all that. We will set up time to talk more about that.
About the logistics of it.
Yes, so that we can invite people in to either give or be volunteers and all that. So all these things are on the pipeline, but we are few, so it's tough, and a lot of people that will help, they are busy. So I need people, especially young people, that have a heart for this. These things, if you don't have a heart for it, you can't do it. So
wow.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I mean,
more about that.
That is really interesting, in the sense that it's about time that we as believers, we as Christians, true Christians, we do take the church into the community. Because, when you read the book of Acts chapter 12, remember that after James was killed and Peter was, taken into custody, into prison by the king, all that the church could do at that time was just to pray. Because there was no representation in the government. And for we Christians, for us to have the leverage, for us to have the upper hand, we need to take control of the community and let our presence be known, so that by doing so, we don't only help our fellow Christians, but then we help those who are not even Christians alongside, so that it gives an opportunity for them to join the kingdom, and it also empowers fellow Christians. And I'm really moved by all these great visions, in that those who parents are single parent, and child care and after school care becomes an issue, hopefully by the grace of God, when this vision goes through, there will be a beneficiary to it. It's going to be safe. It's going to be well planned. So then parents don't have to worry about the safety of their kids, and it's free as well. The group homes and all of that. Wow. So let me tell the viewers right now that if you are out there and you have genuine and keen interest in helping the community, you may not have to be a Christian. Whatever you are, and you want to be part of this big movement to change the community, to empower them, to make someone's life better and smoother, and to put smiles and laughter on someone's face, then this is the time and this is the moment for you. If you are interested, we'll let you know where you can reach us at, and together we'll partner with you and anyone who is ready to make sure this dream and this vision becomes a reality. It is not about church, it's about the kingdom, and it's about the community. And God bless anyone who is willing to do so right now. We'll put a number on the screen that you'll be able to reach us as to what you want to do to help. If you're an IT professional, if you're a healthcare professional, whatever you can do, we would appreciate it so very much. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So let me ask you, Pastor Nickson, who has been the greatest influence on your life when it comes to music? So more so to say, your music mentor.
Okay. Well, I have not had someone, an in-person physical mentor. I believe that I explained that when I got into church, I started listening to integrity music and all that. So that influenced me a lot. And two people, well, of course, I sang Don Moen's songs a lot.
Okay.
And because of the nature of his voice, there's so much vast between his and mine. I remember one time I used to sing this Alvin Slaughter songs a lot.
Okay.
Most of the concerts, when Alvin Slaughter song is in it, we used to organize a mass choir for national crusades and all that. They would let me lead Alvin Slaughter.
Okay.
I used to sing one of his songs. I don't know if you've heard. One of them is called Suddenly. Suddenly, I can feel his mighty power. Suddenly, I can feel the strength within. It's a Holy Ghost song.
Okay.
So they were all together in one place, in an upper room. You know, that song is so powerful.
Wow.
And some of the guys that heard it on radio thought that it was my song. That, you know, we heard your song on radio.
Right.
Because I sang so much of his songs that it was like my voice and his voice was
That's
the
right.
same. You know, in those days. Yeah, of course, when I came here, I learned more, you know. I didn't used to do runs a lot, you know, but when I came here, I learned all these runs, and of course, you have to grow in your career.
Update.
Yes, integrity music was something that I was learning from.
Okay.
But prior to that, when I was in secular, one person that I listened to was Kojo Entry.
Oh, I love Kojo Entry.
The guy is a legend.
Yes.
I mean, when it comes to that style, he's a great singer, he's a great writer. So that was the person I was listening to.
Okay.
So I talked about how I went to the studio, I wrote songs. The songs were all sung local.
Right.
So when I started getting insights in composition, how all these things are done, all my songs now started changing. My writing, just like Kojo Entry.
Right.
You know, and then eventually I came to the church, I became a Christian, and everything started changing. I started listening to contemporary. There's one particular song on my album. I believe that influence came from Kojo Entry. There's a portion that goes, "Where you may feel, oh, aminemu, would him in I, esi obo tanzo, enuntina, me share when you yam, wasafun shiemu." You know, that style, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, that influence was carried on.
Right.
But yeah, I started now writing more contemporary songs, you know, totally different from the one the local people would do, you know, and all that.
Wow. So, I mean, that gives me the impression that, you know, you don't have to necessarily have a Christian, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a musician in the gospel music industry, you don't have to have a Christian mentor per se, but then you can connect to the person, look at the good at what the person does, maybe the style, the writings, and then you can, in our record, you can still modify. You modify, but then your lyrics will be gospel. But then the person, of course, has the experience in the field. Is that right? Is that okay?
Well,
Is that safe to say?
let me say this, because there are some things when we are not careful, someone will take us out of context, and we say that even a man of God said it, so it's okay.
That's right.
It's not that, how do I say this? In their heart of hearts, they know that they are going through a wrong route.
Right.
They just need someone to support their wrong decision.
That's right.
So they would take, just like people take the Bible out of context and they support their wrongdoing. So what I said was, prior to, I was an unbeliever.
Okay.
I used to listen to Kojo Entry. All my songs were influenced.
Okay.
When I became a believer, it was a different story. However, I still respect him as a great writer.
Wow.
Most believers are lazy in writing. That man is an awesome writer.
Wow.
So when it comes to writing, I still respect him. You know, I would say that I've learned a lot from his writing skills. When I became a believer, my style of song changed actually.
Yes.
But if it had not changed, I would let my influence be by the Holy Spirit.
Right.
But then, learning. So let's say I'm a musician, okay? I go to a music school, and my music teacher is an unbeliever.
Right.
I can learn something from him.
That's right. You can quit.
You know, I'll learn something from him. But what I'm saying is this: when you are writing gospel songs, let the Holy Spirit influence you.
Wow.
Because if you're not careful, you only focus on writing style and lyrics. But be prayerful and let the Holy Spirit influence you. All my songs, I don't remember any of them that I just intentionally sit down, I write line and I'm thinking. Then I write line,
Right.
I remember there's a song on this album. When I think about your goodness, makes me feel like dancing. Think about this praise song. When I started recording my album, it wasn't part of the song.
Okay.
I was driving. By the time I drove from one destination to the other, that song is done.
Wow.
I got it whilst I was in the studio recording my album. That's how the song came. It wasn't, so it's influence. So as I put my mind to it, I'm praying, the song can just flow. The lyrics will come with the rhythm, even the style. Because when I started going to studio, even though I didn't know how to play, it's kind of, I can hear how I want my music to sound. The notes that should be played, the bass line, and all that.
Is that what we call the musical ear? Because I've heard people say too. I remember when I was in Ghana, I was part of the choir and we'll be singing. I was a Methodist, and Methodist choristers sing differently. You have the surface written for you, and you sing and all that. And sometimes when the choir masters get frustrated, they would say, you have to have a music ear to know. So I've been wondering, what is music ear?
Okay, so in music, so let me talk about instrument. There's something we call a concert pitch.
Okay,
a concert pitch is where all the tuned instruments are playing the same tune.
Okay.
So one key.
Okay.
So the piano and the organist cannot be playing different keys. Bass guitar and guitarist cannot be playing different keys.
Okay.
So when we are all playing the same, that's called a concert pitch. You, the singer, must know, your ear must be able to follow what they are, playing, whatever key. You have to be able to pick it up.
Wow.
Not everybody has that, but you can learn it.
Okay.
You can be trained to pick it up.
Okay.
So you, the singer, must know. Some of us, we are born naturally with it, but you develop it more.
Okay.
Because let's say just major scale and all that. And then all of a sudden you meet blues scales, you meet minor scale, and all. You should be able to pick it up and sing accordingly.
Wow.
So it comes with time if you are just a beginner. But some just have natural talent.
Okay.
But if you don't have that natural talent and you have the ear, you can grow and understand. Once you begin to learn the dynamics of music a bit, you understand it. So
do you teach it in your school too? In your music school?
Of course, I will explain to you what minor is and all that. I'll give you examples of songs.
Right.
So, when you hear a song, you know that is a minor. And most songs are all the same. So let's say these contemporary gospel, they are all the same.
Okay.
And there is no song that you will not hear another part of a song in it.
Right.
Everything is from, it's all,
that's right.
instrument, everything is into something. So all of us learn from each other, correlate. So as you do it more, the more your ear opens up and you begin to hear different things. So you have to be in the habit of listening to songs. If you don't do that, you can't appreciate the dynamics and you can't really exhibit that gift.
So then the art of learning, you always have to learn.
You always
keep going, keep learning.
You have to keep going.
Wow, that's interesting because life itself is a university.
Yes.
You can never complete.
Yes.
So as a pastor, who is your mentor in ministry or spiritual father per se?
So, I will go back. Okay, I will go back to Ghana.
Okay.
I was raised in Assemblies of God.
Okay.
Okay, my pastor, Reverend Enoch Abbey, that's in Dansoman. He helped me a lot. I mean, let me talk about my music side because when I was there, nobody thought I was going to be a pastor. So he helped me a lot. So when I learned to play, there was no one to play for me to sing, or how do I say it? I had to, there was no one to sing for me to play. So I had to sing and play. That's how so as I was learning to play, I was singing the song and, try to follow the chords and all that. And each time before he preaches, he will call me, even when the choir has sung, he will let me sing before he preaches. That helped me, expose me to experience that. So that part, I learned so much. So in Assemblies of God, I joined, of course, we have a Sunday school system. So I became a Sunday school teacher. Gradually, eventually, I became the superintendent for Sunday school. Okay. Which means you have to teach the teachers. You discuss, we have a booklet. So we have the teacher's manual and the student's manual. Okay. But the superintendent's manual is more depth. Right. So you teach the teachers and, we discuss everything, things to say, things not to say, to the true meaning of whatever is written in the manual, then we go and teach. Okay. So that opportunity helped me. But as I grew up, I wanted more. I wanted more. So I met a friend. His name is William Nickson. He's in Ghana now. He has a church in Ghana. And then he started opening my eyes to certain revelations. Oh my God. And that is when my ministry started changing, my understanding in scriptures. So time went by, we were separated. We did some few programs together. And then I came to America, you know, we reconnected. Not so much, but I met one friend, well, we talked on the phone, who used to be, he's also a friend of William, as I talk about. And then he brought my mind to some of the materials that he learned, you know.
Right.
So I gathered all these materials, started relearning. And then that's when the fire started. Right. So I was in Alexandra Miracle. I don't know if you heard of it. I first went to Faith Family when I came here.
Okay.
I went to Alexandra Miracle. And then I went to World Missions Ministries.
Okay.
So at World Missions Ministries, Apostle Dr. Anthony Nickson, he gave me opportunity and taught me a lot. A lot. So I would say that the place that I've really had opportunity to stand to preach, to be corrected, to get the opportunity to preach out of the moment. You could call me at 3 o'clock. He says, I want you to go and preach at this funeral. I can't come. Then, you know, then he'll call me on Friday morning and say, hey, there's no pastor going to Florida. Can you fly to Florida and go and preach?
Wow.
Then I call my boss, say, boss, I have to fly to Florida. He said, okay, go and work nearest to the airport. Then they give me opportunity, then I go. You know, so, and then under him, I started 2012, I started a branch in Virginia.
Okay.
So the church was there for 2 years and, you know, things were not as we expected. So we had to close down the church. That is when the Lord led me to start. So all that time, as at the time I was with him, I think I was there for about 5 years. He was the one that I looked up to.
Wow. You
know, he was the one that I looked up to. And then when I left, of course, it wasn't the same, you know. I currently have a pastor friend who is more like a brother made from heaven. Dr. Anyani Bodum.
Wow. In Ghana, right?
He's here. His father is in Ghana.
Okay.
Same name.
Same name, okay.
Yes.
All right.
But then he lives here now.
Okay.
And whenever we do our conference of earth, he's the one we invite.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been any of our conferences.
I've been there once.
Yeah, so the man of God that is always on our flyer, he's the one. And I'm learning a lot from him. He's a senior in ministry. Right. So I can't say I have a spiritual father.
Okay.
But I have a strong spiritual brother that I'm really learning from, who is way ahead of me. And I'm learning from him. If he hears this, he'll say that, oh, we are learning from each other. But I know that I am learning so much from him. And he's so humble. I mean, we pray together. We study together. People don't know this, but we spend time with God together.
Wow.
And these things I'm saying, how we are chasing after God, we don't care about the flesh. We share the same vision.
Wow.
All we want to do is to love God.
To love
Listen,
God.
men will not hurt us again. Oh, we are humans.
That's
okay,
right.
Every now and then, somebody can make you feel bad. But look, men will not hurt me again.
Wow.
Where I'm heading towards, men, no. For God.
Wow. Yes. So when you say men will not hurt you again, I think to interpret it, what you meant is you are dead to the flesh.
Well, we die daily.
That's right.
So I said chasing, continuous.
That's right.
So we are still dying.
You are still dying.
If I can emphatically say I am dead, then glory be to Jesus. You know, because that's what I want, you know. But we die daily. We are pressing our way through.
Absolutely.
And the focus is to see the glory of God in our lives. And
Absolutely.
for that to happen, yes, you need to learn how to die to the flesh.
True. Yeah. I mean, it's well needed. So let me ask you, having been in ministry, I mean, the music ministry for so very long, I know there have been many people that you have helped along the way. In many years past, could be most recent. Professionally, which well-known or quote-unquote big professionals in the music industry have you gotten the opportunity to work with or you are working with now?
Well, over here, back home, it was, well, we were saying we were doing more of a concert, but then I was growing up in the music ministry, especially in the studio setting. When I came here, though, I had the opportunity to work with Danny Nete in my studio. It was a song that we were working on for Reverend Clarence.
Okay.
We didn't finish the song.
Okay.
And God called him home.
Yeah.
Prior to when Koda was going to do his first concert here,
okay,
I was called upon to raise the Bacchus, the vocals and all that. So the songs were sent. They called me to teach them the harmony and all that, so that when he comes, it will be easier, because he had a short time to the concert when he comes here. And then when Danny Nete passed, Denzel Prempe, when we were organizing the concert, of course, we all teamed up together and we did a concert here and there. So I could say that these are the people that I can right now mention that I have worked closely with. Of course, when Phil Thompson came here, Koda was there, we sang together. But like to closely work with them was when we were doing Danny Nete's concert, and then when Koda was going to do his concert here in that school somewhere in Lawton. But to record in the studio, my Kron, I recorded with Koda in Koda's studio.
Wow.
Yeah. Many years ago, Eugene Zuta.
I don't think I know him.
Yes, we Woso.
Right.
Okay. So we used to actually live on the same compound.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're in a group. I don't know if you know Scott Okai. Faith Family. So myself, Scott, and there's another guy called Adolf. He's in South Africa, and then Zuta. We're in the same group. So we're actually going to sign a contract with this record label, but I didn't come on. Everybody scattered. Zita went to school, Scott came to America. I was still in Ghana. Everybody scattered. But we used to sing together with a group called Olivet Voices, concerts here and there. And then everybody traveled. And then we heard Zuta is doing well, When we used to have our annual concert with Oaks of Righteousness, we used to do it in Assemblies of God, the church that Joe Metal goes to.
Okay.
So we used to put all choirs together. We did a mass choir. But prior to that, all the individual choirs will sing. Joe Metal's church, their senior choir. Joe Metal was in the junior choir by then.
Okay.
Some of my pictures is in there.
Wow.
So, but all this while, I traveled before all these guys came out to the limelight.
Right.
So I've had some close connection with them, but not worked with them. The ones that I've actually worked with are the ones that I just mentioned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's still, I would use the word an achievement, when I know you won't, but then that is still something good to know that, you do have relationship and you do know, Koda. If you're in the African community, we know Koda is a big one in there. Danny Nete, God bless his soul. Some of us didn't get to meet him. By the time we got to know him, that, this was his song and that was his song, the Lord has called him to rest. Wow. So you did say, earlier on that you, even when you were writing, you were singing secular music and all, you used to write it. So I'm under an impression you still do write music. Have you written music for, I mean the lyrics, for people to have sung before?
Yes. Even a secular one. Okay. Even here in the secular one. There's this young lady called Vida. I don't know if you heard her. She used to act. I don't know if you've seen this movie, American Nurse. It's a Nigerian movie. Yeah.
I'll check it out on YouTube.
She's in there. Where we used to live many years ago as musicians, myself and some musicians were living in a house together. And my friend Pompo had a studio. So they called me that someone is recording a song and they are struggling. So I should come and help. So when I went in, before singing, I started as a rapper.
Okay. Oh, wow. Maybe at some point you have to give us a freestyle. Because right now there's gospel rapping songs too.
Oh, this guy, Asumedu, I don't know if you go Legacy Radio.
Okay.
I did a few of his songs.
Yeah,
and there was one particular song that he has.
Is it Gold Legacy something? Yeah,
Yes,
no.
there's one particular song he has. I did a rap for him. Wow. And usually when I would do that, it means that I wrote it.
You wrote it.
Because they come and the song is incomplete.
Right.
So, I need to help in a way to put the song together. Of course, as a producer, doing arrangements here and there, it's part of the job. So, yeah, one of his songs, I did rap in it for him.
Okay.
And usually I'll do it just a short rap. Mm-hmm. So I didn't actually record any of my raps that I've ever written, in secular, those days before I became a Christian. But yeah, that's what I used to do before I realized that I could even sing. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about those days where Shabarangs,
right,
Shakademus, and all those guys were there. Mm-hmm. Those are the times,
Right.
But we found the Lord and everything changed. But of course, if you're a singer, it's like just saying these things faster. That's all rap is all about. If you can say some lyrics, can put it together and say it more faster in a rhyming way, you make it sound good.
Not everybody has that grace. It seems easier for you because you have that grace, but not everybody has that grace.
It's practice,
Well, yeah, practice make men perfect,
yes.
Right? Okay. So, you've written many songs, when you came into Christ from then till now.
Yes.
For me, one of your favorite songs that I love, and I use on my website without paying for royalty, was Nyamiye. Okay, so my question is, out of all the many songs that you have written, which of them is your favorite and why?
It almost seems as if the one that is people's favorite is tending to be my favorite because that's what people like.
Right.
But really, I love all the songs.
Oh, you would, I'm sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that this one is my favorite, this one is my less favorite. I love all the songs, but I would say that for some of them, I wish I had sang it better.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
People ask me, what's your favorite scripture? I know you might not even ask me this, but I always say that Matthew 4:4. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word. So you see, There is no word in scripture that is more important than another word.
Of course.
So if God gave it to me, it's equally as good as the other.
Right.
So sincerely, I can't say that this one is my favorite, this one. Maybe I can say that I sang this one better than this one. But all the songs, to me, they are awesome.
Okay, so which ones or which particular song do most of your viewers, your listeners, love the most? Which is the most trending?
Ogwama.
Ogwama.
Okay. You heard Ogwama?
I haven't. Do you want to demonstrate that a little bit?
Uyogwama na okuno. Ofata se ojaye. Yamye gwama. Yebe udi. You have it?
Wow.
Okay.
We can get this on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's there on YouTube.
Okay. All we have to do is type your name.
Live for Christ did a video on it, demonstrating video on it. So you see it.
Wow, that's powerful. So let me ask you this: how many professional records do you have to your credit?
Say professional. What do you mean?
Well, professional means that it was done by big shot people. If I say big shot, I mean people
record label.
People who are licensed, registered, record labels, and all of that.
Where we come from.
Okay.
I don't know how many record labels we have.
Okay.
Well, those days I used to know about Megastar.
Okay.
I think Despite too.
Despite, yes.
And then maybe I don't remember the rest. Mm-hmm. But for them, it's like maybe Tego Sisters and mostly the Daughters of Glorious Jesus, all those. So, yeah, right now, I don't know if Megastar doesn't even exist anymore.
No, I don't know. So.
And so I hardly know if there is any record label because it's like everybody's doing their own thing.
Most of them
and some producers in the corner will sponsor. Yeah, so in my generation, unless I get some record label here in the US, so I can say that the answer is 0.
0.
Yeah.
I mean that's safe to say. And and then let me ask you this. It won't be fair talking about music and how you write it and you did say that in one of your songs that you wrote, you produced, and all you had it launched in Apostolic, how much you spent and how much came in and all. So let me ask you, have you personally profited in any of your music career as to you launched a song, this how much you spent, this how much you made out of it, and then you personally spent it, which you have the right to because you put in the work?
Well, when the money comes, I'll definitely enjoy it.
Of course. I mean, you work for it.
Well, with that one, even when the CDs were out, I actually bought a duplicator. Okay. I reduplicated myself. I remember one time I went to a church to sing it. I left there with $500 of sales. Okay. So that was what I was doing. Okay. A friend invites for me to come and sing. Then I have CDs here and people will buy.
Yeah, they will.
They enjoy the songs, they will buy. So I remember I came to King's Light some time ago. Apostle sold some for me and all that. So yeah, but to say that as we look at these guys on YouTube and how they have actually benefited from that,
right.
That hasn't been me.
Okay.
That is because of probably where we are. Mm-hmm. I remember many years ago I went to Ghana and some of my friends that know me, they said, man, if only you had been here. Mm. Because now they see the contemporary. Because I started singing contemporary long ago before many of these guys came up. Mm. They said, if only you had been here. Right. But hey, like I said, my greater years are ahead. God knows the reason why I am where I am today. Mm-hmm. He knows the purposes he has for me. So they that compare themselves to themselves are not wise. So I don't compare this, who is better. The fact that somebody's out there doesn't make them better than,
That's right.
It's insignificant.
It's their time.
Yeah, so
then that's what Bible said, time and chance happen to them all. Mm-hmm. Okay. So one last question on this segment of your music career. I know since you love all your songs, which top music artists, gospel artists are your favorite? I know you love most of them.
Right now?
Right now.
Okay. So here, I love William McDowell. Okay. And
which of his song is your most favorite? You love all of them, but which of his really takes you somewhere?
There is this song of his that I usually pray with. Okay. It says, falling on my knees, I bow down. I think the title is Falling on My Knees. Okay. And then there's one, it's called I Don't Mind Waiting. Yeah, I know a lot of people haven't heard that, but it's a song that it's on repeat. When I'm praying and I'm listening to that, I have my AirPods on. I just soaked into prayer. So those are the two songs that I really listen. Of course, he's done all that. I give myself away and all that. And then one of his songs, how can I describe a love that is indescribable and all that. So, but these two songs,
I don't mind waiting.
It takes me into prayer. When I'm about to pray, I turn that on. Wow. And I'm just, yeah.
So having listened to that for almost all the time, what comes into your mind when you hear the part that says, I don't mind waiting? What is it about it, I don't mind waiting, that gets you to prayer? What is it that it does to you?
So the lyrics are good.
Okay.
But when I listen to a song, I listen also mostly to the heart of the song. Okay. Of course, you cannot sing anything and say that my heart is for God. Of course, the lyrics must match what your heart is saying.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I listen because there are nice songs out there. Mm-hmm. But if I listen to it, for some reason, I can hear the spirit behind the song. Mm. It that moves me or it doesn't move me. Okay. So it can be a simple song, but when the spirit behind it is good, it will get me into prayer.
I see.
So that is what I hear. And the genuineness of his vision is to see revival in his generation. Wow. So for me to, and that's his story. That particular song tells about he doesn't mind waiting until he sees a change of people turning to God. Right. There's a revival in the generation. Okay, so, but when I am praying, my prayer is not that. That is his vision. It's just that portion drives me into prayer. The spirit behind the song drives me into prayer. And then falling on my knees, I bow down, and then he says that some things I can't see until I bow. Some things I can't hear until I bow.
Wow.
And then he goes on to say that I understand better now here on my knees.
Wow.
So you see, it's meaningful. And because when I go down my knees, then the flesh is diminishing. And you begin to understand the things of the spirit. So that song in itself is speaking volumes. And it really gets me in.
Wow. So then basically what I can get, or what I gather from what you're saying about the bow on my knees, is more of like a call to prayer, more to say.
Yes, it's a call to
because
prayer.
just like the way our Muslims brothers do, before they will pray the earliest prayer of the day, I think 5 a.m., there's the azan who, basically calls everybody, let's come to pray. So of course, if you say there's something that has to be seen, but I can't see it unless I go on my knees, so then, wow, that's I have to give it a shot.
It's a short song, about 4 minutes or so.
Wow.
But that particular song, even more than the other one. The other one is about 9 minutes long. Because I've listened to it, I know.
Listen to it, so you know.
That short 4-minute song. And then the next thing will be some of their, there's one particular song I listen on YouTube. It's a local song. I don't remember the guy's name. It's about 40-something minutes long. So when I turn that song on, then I'm just gone in prayer. It's a one of those local Ghanaian songs. There's a lot of them that are good. But for some reason, that particular one, like I said, the spirit, whatever he did before he sang that song, it takes me into prayer.
So who is the person? And what
I don't remember the name.
Okay.
So I go there and I bumped into that song and I've been listening to it ever since. It's been a long while.
It's a local Ghanaian song.
It's a local Ghanaian song.
You're trying to say?
Oh, it's a medley.
It's a medley.
Yeah, 40-something minutes.
40-something minutes,
Yeah.
okay. But it's all sung by that same person?
Same person.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I just, sometimes you just look for a song that you can pray with. So, but that particular one, for some reason, it connects to my spirit. There are other ones, so if I'm not familiar with it, it might be good.
Right.
Others have their choices. But for me, that particular one, it drives me there.
It drives you there.
It takes me there.
Wow. So then what I've learned from what you just said is that music is not only music, but music also carries spirit. There's always a spirit behind the music because of the words in there. Wow.
The spirit of the music is the spirit of the person singing.
Wow. Let me repeat it after you. Because I want to get it. The spirit of the music is the spirit of the person singing. So the
person's spirit is the spirit of the music.
The person's spirit is the spirit of the music. So then it matters so much who is singing.
Yes.
Wow.
Because when that person's spirit is not influenced by the Holy Spirit, it is just flesh.
Wow.
So it matters who is singing.
Wow.
So don't look for someone who has made a name. That's what the world is looking for. The world is looking for a name. The church is looking for a name.
Yes.
We are not looking for the spirit. Find the one who nobody knows but has the spirit. That is what I mean. Like I said, I'm chasing after. I don't care about popularity.
Right.
When I have God and I have found that God, that intimacy with God, the world means nothing to me.
Absolutely.
Right now, I'm telling you, I've come to a place, nothing means anything to me. If I'm really doing anything right now, it's for my kids.
Right.
I mean, worldly things, somebody has bought this nice car, somebody has this nice. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Wow.
What is meaningful to me is God, and that is what I'm looking after.
Wow.
One thing have I desired. That's what David is saying.
That's right.
He just wants to look for God. That's all that matters.
Wow.
David cried, do not take away your Holy Spirit from me.
me.
Of everything that David could be, he cried, Lord, if you can take anything from me.
Not your spirit. Wow. Wow. That's interesting.
I'm telling you.
Okay, so viewers, I've learned so much, a lot, and I hope you have learned a lot too from the music journey of Pastor Emmanuel Pakwesi. Pakwesi, right? Kwesi Poku. Hey.
I'm called Pakwesi.
Pakwesi too. I don't go with the Pakwesi on the safe side. Pakwesi Nickson. He said the spirit of the spirit of the song is the spirit of the person singing. So in as much as we love gospel music, let's be very particular about who we choose to listen to, because it's very, very important. We are going to go on a quick commercial break, and we'll come back to you with some last few questions for Pastor Nickson.
The following broadcast is brought to you by kmtv Kumasi and L4C Multimedia, USA.